Hey, Heather Legg with Envision Success Inc. And today just had an amazing conversation with a client about how too much on our plate, too many things to do, feeling frustrated by not being able to do some of the things that we want to do because of all the things we feel like we should do, just can cause some problems. Can you relate? Pretty sure we can all relate to this one. So we had an enjoyable conversation with lots of examples and stories from my own experience, lots of other clients, and for this client as well. So what do we do when we feel too stressed out? We have too much on our plate, too much on our to-do list, and too many shoulds. The shoulds are really piling up. Just like, I should do this, I should do this, I should get this. Oh my gosh, I got to do this follow-up with that client. And it's already been like 2 business days. And I feel like I'm kind of failing on some level because I should have got that done already. But I have all these millions of other things to do. And I feel like I'm falling behind again, or catching up still, right? We all feel like this. Sometimes it almost feels perpetual. So whether it's a short-term temporary, a little bit of a long-term temporary, you're climbing your way out of it, or if this has become the new normal, let's talk some strategies. So how do we handle this? Because if we don't change anything, the frustration can turn to bitterness. If we're not getting to do the things in life that we want, if we're not living at least some of the lifestyle that we desire or that we feel we're supposed to be living, then there creeps in, beyond some frustration, some guilt, some bitterness, it causes problems. It will fester. It will explode on some level, possibly with your relationships, whether that's at work or personal, whatever. So we talked about several strategies in this client meeting, and I'm just going to share a few here because we all need constant reminding, refreshing, reframing of some of the strategies that have worked for us in the past, have worked for people we know, and we just kind of forget when we get in that stress mindset. Even studies tell us that when our stress chemicals are higher, then our brain doesn't work the same. So we're not thinking as logically when we're stressed out. So if maybe that's enough of a reason for you to mind the stress, to manage the stress, and let some shit go. So let's talk about it. So first, there's a concept of the big rocks go in the jar first, right? So you've heard of this one, but just in case you're like, what's she talking about? So imagine a jar, an empty jar, and the things in your life is going to be a real quick and dirty version of the real version. So the big rocks are the higher priority things in your life. So important relationships, missions that you're on. Just think those really big, what does my life stand for kind of things. Or maybe in business, your bigger rocks in business might be those big projects, those career maker, business maker projects, right? So the big rocks, if they go in the jar first, then the smaller rocks are the other slightly lesser priorities, things that are also important to you. Then we have the pebbles, they kind of go around. So those are the things that we want, what are the fun little things like go to the zoo with the kids on a Tuesday, or a fly to Paris for a weekend, or just, I don't know, or lots of little things. I want to tackle all the paperwork in the house this year, or lots of the shoulds can kind of fall into that category. And then we have the sand that we pour the sand in and it fills the jar up totally. The sand is just all the stuff that our days are filled up with. What happens if we don't put the big rocks in first? If we fill the jar with sand, then we can't get the smaller rocks, the bigger rocks in. All the space is filled up. Got to put the important stuff in first, right? So it's the same thing. When you find yourself feeling stressed out with too much to do, and you're not doing some of the things that you feel like you really want to do, or perhaps should be doing, but you feel guilty because there's just never enough time to do all the things you want to do or feel like you should be doing. You have decisions to make, but the key is you make a decision and you stick with it, and then you're fully present in whatever activity you chose. No waffling back and forth. Well, I wonder if I made the right decision. Oh my gosh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? We can go back and forth. And there's this massive energy loss that happens when we're not actually making a decision. So please get better at making a decision that you can live with, and don't look back. Let the guilt go. Be fully present in what you decided. Now that can feel really challenging. So let's talk a couple other strategies you can use. If you have, say, something you really need to get done, you really don't want to do, and you think it's maybe going to take you a few hours, you could play a couple little games, as I call it, with yourself, and say, all right, I'm going to spend 20 minutes in total Tasmanian devil mode on that thing. And yes, that is what I call it. Tasmanian devil mode is like, you get it, right? Like as fast as you can. We are racing the clock. We are down and dirty, getting the shit done. Then we can go do something we really want to do. So if you have personal relationships that are depending on you getting a couple of these like Tasmanian devil things done over here, maybe you don't have to 100% get it all, if it's going to take several hours, maybe you work on it 45 minutes. You make some visible, tangible progress on that thing that you don't want to do, but it really does kind of have to be tackled. Then you get to go do something that you've been promising or that you've been really wanting to get to that helps fill you up, fill your bucket, restore some of those relationships. Then you get 2 wins instead of feeling like you missed out somewhere and you didn't get some stuff done, right? So that's a strategy. You race the clock, set 20 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it is. I mean, it kind of depends what the project is, what the task is, what's going to make sense for you in that moment. But it's the decision. You make the decision, and then you are 100% in that activity for that amount of time. Not second guessing yourself, not going, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Stop that talk. Stop that drain of your energy, your vital life force. It is not doing you any bit of good. Are you going to make 100% perfect decisions all the time? No. So what? You're human. You will be much happier, even if you make the wrong decision and you feel okay about it, than if you're constantly wondering if you made the wrong decision. Do you understand what I'm saying? That didn't quite sound right. But you see the energy drain of the doubting yourself and wondering and thinking about this and then this, I could have done that, I could have done that. No, stop. You're wasting your life with that crap. That's the sand or the dust that's filling in the jar. It has zero meaning for you. Zero. It's not adding any value for you nor anyone else in your life. So, okay, that's one great way to let the guilt go. Make a decision. This is what I'm going to do for this amount of time. I'm going to feel better about it. I'm going to make some progress on this. I'm going to make some progress on that. I'm going to go do these things that really matter to me in my life. And that is a strategy for avoiding the bitterness, the ruined relationships, and still staying on track, the things that matter to you. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you here again next time. Take care.